Hey, what's up guys, aarava here, and welcome back to another Last Question Mark Challenge here today, this time for the 2019 F1 Bahrain Grand Prix, round number 2 of the F1 2019 season. And as you can see by the title and the thumbnail, we're going to be driving as Sebastian Vettel in his Ferrari car, trying to see how far up the order we can get from last place P20 on this 2019 grid, with the 2019 mod installed on the 2018 game. So all the driver transfers, all the brand new looking cars, and so the matte Ferrari is going to look quite unique around here and quite different to what we've been used to with the kind of glossier Ferrari around the floodlights here at Bahrain. But of course, Ferrari had a tough time out of Australia. Hopefully can be better here. We'll see if we can predict anything, because sometimes there is a bit of wizardry that happens in these Last Question Mark challenges, and so maybe we can try and predict where Vettel and Leclerc might finish. Of course, Leclerc starting in a kind of higher up grid position than us from last place. If you're unfamiliar with the challenge, we're here in a 25% race, so it's a short and sweet race. We really have to get the moves done as quick as possible, because you can't dawdle. It's going to be a one-stop strategy pretty much, and from last place, especially in the first sector here at Bahrain, it's going to be quite tricky in terms of overtaking, and easy chance to get kind of caught up in some action. So we need to kind of also keep our wits about us and try and not get into any trouble, and then we can get a move on then, really playing on with the Ferrari pace versus the midfield. Should be a dawdle versus the Red Bull and the Mercedes towards the end of the race. Might be a bit tricky, but we'll see nonetheless. But yeah, like I said, it's going to be a one-stop strategy, but actually I'm going to change it up from the default. The default has the red stripe tyre to the yellow wall stripe tyre. We're going to move those around and kind of start on the harder tyre and go to the softest compound available at the end of the Grand Prix. Kind of like what we did at Australia, kind of learning from the Last Question Mark challenge we did with Ricciardo for round number 1. That worked really well. It could work even better with the Ferrari car, because technically, obviously, it's a faster car, so we should be able to get through more traffic with ease on the harder compounded tyre, and that means at the end, then on lower fuel, I can really start to bang in some purple lap times maybe, and really get a move on and try and, well, I think the aim should be a podium, really, in all honesty, with the Ferrari trying to make a comeback from last place. You would kind of say that would be their kind of aim if they were to start from last place, so I think that's a good kind of yardstick to aim for. So we're going to get straight into it then, and start this challenge then for the Bahrain Grand Prix from last place on the grid as Sebastian Vettel. As we rev up for 5 red lights to the Bahrain Grand Prix, the 2 Williams cars ahead of us, 5 lights are out, and we're underway. And compared to those 2 Williams cars, not a lot of wheel spin, a lot for Robert Kubica there, and we get a good run off the line, already overtaken George Russell, and going to size a move down the inside. No use trying to go on the left-hand side, because that's just boxed off, so nice room to breathe here to the inside of 2 cars of Alexander Albon and Lando Norris in the McLaren. Everyone's side by side and 2 by 2 on the exit of turn 2 through turn 3, and now on the run to turn 4. We're going to take this nice and easy. You can see there's a whole wall of cars here, and so just nice and patient on the left-hand side. There's a bit of contact for Kvyat and Carlos Sainz, and we're around the outside of 2, maybe even 3 cars there of the Spaniard, maybe even 4, as we go sailing around the outside to the inside of Danny Kvyat there, the Russian, and we're up into P12, and that's been an absolute stonking start there. So you saw I started to brake a little bit early before turn 4, because I knew there was so many battles going on there that I just want to take it nice and easy. Don't dive in too early and actually make the move a little bit later. And you saw there around the outside of 2 cars, nice and easy, the Racing Point car and the McLaren and the Toro Rosso in the end as well, to make 4 positions there. That was the Alfa Romeo included of Giovinazzi. And now we go around the outside of Daniel Ricciardo in the Renault, struggling a little bit for grip on the exit, and we're able to find the downforce and grip round the outside to the inside for the next right-hander. Watch out for that curb on the right, because that can definitely spit you out, but we made it work up into P11, and so we're only 1 position off the points-paying positions, and it's not even the end of lap number 1. So I'd say that's probably the best getaway we could have hoped for in the Last Question Mark challenge here with Sebastian Vettel. And now we're right on the back of Sergio Perez, then the second Racing Point car of the, I was going to say afternoon, but it's night time, of course, but under the floodlights. Can we try and make a dive bomb here? Actually take a bit of inspiration from the F2 race earlier on today. A big dive to the inside, and we make it work. Maybe scare Perez off the road. No, it hasn't worked, actually. Comes back at us there, and that Racing Point car has some good traction. He's down the inside. We leave in the room, but then he brakes quite early, and so here was a very awkward position. I was jostling for position. I was actually lifting off to leave him room, but then to my surprise, he didn't actually dive into the inside, which I thought he would do. So I kind of got kind of spooked a little bit. I didn't know what to do, whether to accelerate or kind of pinch him off the corner or leave the room. So that was a bit awkward, but we made it in the end, and we're up into P10 now, and we're only getting towards the end of lap number 2. So as we go into lap number 3, we're chasing after now Kimi Raikkonen, doing a pretty stellar job in the Alfa Romeo to hang on to some points at the moment there. But to say that I can't actually look ahead of me for now, now, because behind, Sergio Perez comes and attacks me, surprisingly. So I have to go defensive there, because I have to go low ERS mode, because the ERS, obviously, on the base cars is so low compared to, like, later seasons in career mode, that obviously the ERS goes so quick on overtaking hot lap mode, so I have to be careful there. Virtual safety car is now out as we move on to the same place, lap 4 this time, the next lap, so I'm going to take it nice and easy. Gives us some time, though, to save some fuel momentarily, and also save up some ERS battery there, as Danica Fiat is the one out of this Grand Prix. Wouldn't be surprised if he had to retire due to some more contact, maybe after the initial contact he made on lap number 1, but now just trying to take it easy and not jump the start, obviously, otherwise we'll get a penalty, and so we actually leave a few tenths on the time. But the thing is, when it goes green, I was able to accelerate straight away, so I feel like I did gain a little bit of an advantage on Raikkonen there, being able to accelerate rather than in a brake zone when the virtual safety car ended. And so now we're right on the back of our former teammate from Ferrari. Down the inside we go of the Alfa Romeo racing car, and we're up into P9. A very easy move there, and now we can try and size up a move on Nico Hulkenberg, maybe on this next straight. You can see going through the ERS modes, going down to high for now, just to save a little bit of battery as we enter the last corner aggressively over that bump. And now we bump it up to hot lap mode, and then eventually obviously overtake mode on gear 7 and 8. DRS open as well, which makes going, and so across the line we're losing some time, obviously overtaking cars, but the pace is still pretty damn good. And here we go, nice and aggressive, swooping to the inside, letting you know I was going to make that move. Go a little bit too deep though for my liking, and so Hulkenberg comes back at us on the outside, but we squeeze him out, and so alas, we do get that move done up into P8. We try and break the toe, and actually in doing so we help Raikkonen out, because Raikkonen now goes down the inside. So there's a big scrap ahead of us there of Romain Grosjean and the two top cars there of Red Bull and a Mercedes. I think that's Verstappen, yeah, Verstappen and Bottas. And meanwhile, I'm kind of more interested in the fight behind me, as Raikkonen and Hulkenberg are still neck and neck, as I close up quite a fair bit to Grosjean, who's awkwardly kind of got a domino effect from a slow Mercedes and Red Bull battle. But look at that, Raikkonen and Hulkenberg are still going at it, and are still neck and neck there. Great fight there between the Iceman and Hulk. But as we close up now to Grosjean, we should be able to make a move here. Have a little look on the left-hand side, open DRS, cut in to the slipstream and toe. Can't quite make a move to this next brake zone, but up the hill is where I think we can make the move. Find the downforce, find the grip to the inside. The Haas a little bit unsettled, a little bit slow. We make a tiny bit of grazing contact on the sidewall of the tyres, but here we go, the long way around, really nice, and we make it work up into P7, pinch him on the apex, nice and aggressive, and up into P7. And now we're going to have a front row seat at Verstappen versus Valtteri Bottas there. So Bottas going defensive. I think he has some sort of issue maybe in the car, because he's going quite slow. Surprised to see Verstappen attacking him so much, but to be fair, Gasly's doing a madness, I think, out in front in P2, chasing after Hamilton. But look at this, a double toe on Verstappen and Bottas, a double overtake on a Red Bull, Honda and Mercedes car to the inside. It's going to be so aggressive and really satisfying here, down the inside into turn 1. And we're up into P2 now, is it? Because Hamilton, Leclerc and Gasly have all pit. So we're P2, chasing after the only man who's yet to pit in this Grand Prix ahead of us, which is Kevin Magnussen. But that was such a sweet move, such a satisfying overtake on Verstappen and Bottas. Get the double toe, swoop to the inside. Bob's your uncle, we got the overtake done. And now, speaking of getting the job done, down the inside of Kevin Magnussen we go as well. And we're up into P1 now of the Bahrain Grand Prix. So didn't think I'd be saying that so early on in the race, to be honest, because we're yet to make our pit stop yet. But this is exactly why I wanted to start on the soft tyres, because if we had enough pace, had enough, guts about it, enough aggression, we could make this work even more so than we did at the Australian Grand Prix last, the question mark challenge with Ricciardo. And now we can pit on towards lap 7, go on to super soft tyres, and we'll be on the fastest compound available. We'll be on a faster compound than pretty much every single driver on this grid. Lower fuel as well. We've got a little bit of fuel to play with as well, and the ERS is always an issue, but we'll, obviously we'll use that, and we should be well on our way to maybe getting towards a podium, because Verstappen and Bottas, I think they were fighting for, P4-5, so we're already there to 4th place, I think. I think the only cars ahead of us are Leclerc, Gasly and Hamilton, technically. So we come out there, and there you go. On the top left there, we are up in P4. Gasly is the one ahead of us. He's chasing after Leclerc. He's very close, I believe, on the minimap there. And then Hamilton's got a bit of a larger gap. And by the time we get on to lap number 9, Leclerc has been overtaken by Gasly. So once again, in the mod, Gasly's doing very, very well in 2nd place. But we're going very, very well with 4 laps to go. Lap 10, setting a purple fastest lap lap of the Grand Prix. We're chasing after Leclerc with all we've got, and soon enough we will close up as we move on to the middle of lap number 10 in the S section there. Now just about sizing up the move and being a little bit patient maybe with Leclerc, of course being my teammate, but at the same time I don't want to be too patient, because you can see in the minimap there, Gasly is just going to the left-hander now and exiting that. We can just about see him actually up the road, and so there's a half chance we could try and chase after him for second place, but to be honest, we can get Leclerc here, it'll be still fantastic. P20 to P3, so here we go. DRS, we got a little bit of ERS to work with, but not too much. We go round the outside, bit of tyre contact there. Leclerc gives us a bit of a run for the money, but eventually we have the faster compounded tyre, we have the better grip down the inside, and we're up into P3. But that's a fantastic recovery so far, and now we try and chase after Gasly, but gonna have to try and do some ERS and fuel management as well. And as much as I pushed, to be honest, I was pushing so hard. We even set another purple lap time on lap 12 it was, but onto lap 14, unfortunately just couldn't catch Gasly. In the end, actually, I started running out of fuel. You can see my fuel gauge is red, and so we have to go to down the fuel mixtures a little bit right at the end there, just to make sure we don't conk out on the line. And onto ERS, I really ran high, and so we don't have too much battery left over. But still, P3 is absolutely amazing. Hamilton wins this one, Gasly P2, but for us, P3, a brilliant recovery from last place, you got to say.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Brilliant stuff from Mercedes today. That's another historic win. And I have to wonder, Anthony Davidson, just what set them apart from the competition here.
The difference was clearly in the strategy. You could tell they'd done a lot of work on the pit wall to really optimise each stint and get the most out of the tyres. And it highlights just how much of a team sport this really is. But credit to the driver as well though, there's no good having a well-oiled machine behind the scenes without a talented hand on the wheel, of course.
Welcome then to the podium, our top three drivers. What a great effort from them today in a very difficult race.
So there we go, Lewis Hamilton wins the Bahrain Grand Prix from Pierre Gasly to Sebastian Vettel in third place. As of course we were driving as Sebastian ahead of Leclerc in P4. Very good recovery, obviously much better than we had at Australia, but of course being in a Ferrari car, like I said, you expect to recover to P3, the way that, Formula A versus Formula B, you expect to get up at least into the top 5, even if you're in last place really with one of these top 3 cars. But really good showing there, and I think, eventually, I see at some point in the season with these challenges, we can get maybe a last to first at some point if we get a good run. Bahrain is quite a tricky circuit, and so to get to P3 is actually really great compared to other circuits where it's easier to overtake. But yeah, we'll see how that goes for the real-life Grand Prix tomorrow to see if there's any kind of wizardry going on there. I would be shocked, really, if it was a Mercedes 1 and Red Bull 2, to be honest, because the Ferraris do look very tasty around Bahrain. We'll have to really see how the race pace goes for them on Sunday there. But guys, if you did enjoy this video, then be sure to smash that like button. Let me know your thought in the comments below. If you are new around here, you can subscribe for weekly full-on content. I've been aarava. Hope you enjoyed the rest of your day. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.